Hello, hello. So happy Sunday, everyone. Hi, Luna and Juan and Shauna. Ooh, nothing like moisturizer mixed with cat fur. I have a baby Sadie today. Hi, Will. And she did not feel good. She does not feel good, and all she wants is mom. So we are going to the doctor tomorrow. I will definitely give away readings. I will see how far we get. But she's purring right now, and I can promise you purring has not been on the agenda the last couple of days. So let's take a second and how was everyone's eclipse? Did you make moon water? Were you able to see it? It was rainy and cloudy, but I thought it was really beautiful in my area that it rained. It was like new moon water for everyone. It was just drenching states. Hello, Renata. Hi, you just gonna be here? Did everyone have anything interesting? Also, if you burnt yourself cooking or on a curling iron or just felt extra last night and today, that is because the moon moved into Scorpio eventually and paired up with Mars. So we had moon Mars in Scorpio conjunction. Nikki. 3 others in the house, and he wants to use wherever I'm sitting. Sorry about the noise, guys. Hi, Gemini love. Oh, dude, you're wreaking havoc on her nervous system. Okay. You set fire to the candle wax while you were... I know. He's an attention whore, Sadie. Okay. Do you want me to let you down? If you want to come back up, you come back, okay? You say goodbye to everyone. Let's get you to the couch. Okay. Nikki is Nikki. He's so sweet and he's so freaking adorable and cute. He makes all the funniest faces. And he had me to himself all last night. But the fact that I'm holding her, I mean, we have boxes spread out all over the house. So let's start. Let's start with Libra. We stopped off at Virgo last time, or did we stop off at Libra? No, we stopped off at Virgo. I'm going to use the the Starman Tarot. Oh, Nikki's fine. He just, if I sit down to eat in the living room, that's where he's going to poop. If I take coffee into my room to go do work on the computer, that's where he'll poop. If I sit down to do a live, he comes in here and poop. Like, he just He just needs to be seen and heard and pet at all times. It's Sadie, but thank you. Okay, so Libra or 7th house. And I'm just a la natural today, kids. I went and got the new protein vax, which I know is going to be helpful, but you know, the weekend of, sometimes it'll give you a headache, or so I've had like a migraine for 24 hours. So I was like, okay. And I had a sick fur baby. So I was like, we are not making time to accessorize. Ooh, my face that I'm just covered in fur. What do we have for Libra's 7th house placements? Hi, TS. Thank you, Adva. You know, I work on it daily. It's a chronic condition, so it's not one of those things where I'm like, one day just everything goes away. But I am actually hoping to like reset my system, but it's gonna take a long time. I don't get the cough. I don't get the cough, but just the sore arm, but I usually do helicopter wheels, and that seems to help a whole lot. And then and this time there's just a headache. Okay. Libra, this is about what you have to let go of. And I mean, the eclipse period between yesterday and the 28th is going to be probably profound for a lot of people. We're seeing profound things happen in the collective right now. Not great things, but serious things. So it could be a profound change. But Libra, what it's asking, we have 10 of Swords. It's time for a painful situation to end. And 4 of Pentacles. And the 4 of Pentacles, for me, that's always the guy holding the 1 pentacle sitting in the chair, right? And I always say that that's all I need is this box of matches and this belt and this chair, and that's all I need. Steve Martin, the Jerk. If you have not seen that movie, you can thank me later. Go watch it. The 10 of Swords, when we get the 4 of Pentacles, it could be because the 10 of Swords tells us it's time for a cycle to end. The 4 of Pentacles with it indicates for me that you know that. You know it cognitively, you know it emotionally. You're actually ready. There is some way that you feel possibly like under-resourced, or feel like you just need this one more thing so you can let go of this situation. For some of you, it's a job. And I'm going to say we probably are going to see some economic wonkiness. Oh, great, Maricela. Great. I'm glad you love it. That's what I could have done today. I could have wore the hat instead of doing a ponytail, or done both. This Ten of Swords speaks of connection. There is one person holding on, almost seeming like this person is giving all of their energy to the other person. You're drained. It's painful. It's time to let go. I don't know why you feel that you are like under-resourced, overwhelmed. You're each individually. I know what it feels like to feel under-resourced and overwhelmed. Trust and believe. But you know, listen. Everybody has their own reasons. This Four of Pentacles, you have the basics. There's one big thing you're waiting for. For some of you, I keep getting the sense is the big thing you're waiting for is the other person to have another source to live off of. You could be holding off ending something because you're the roof over their head, or you are how they are stable. But I feel like this is you giving all of yourself to this other person. And they're holding on. I don't think they're letting go very easily. They might verbally be like, I don't need this, I'm good. But I honestly think that it might be passive aggressive, like, sure, just throw me out on the street. That feels like it's just for a few people. I mean, we have roots down at the bottom and there's just flames here. You are burning away your ties to this, and this person is trying to keep you through manipulation, through guilt, through making you feel like it might be them that's under-resourced. But I think because you're Libra, because you're a good partner, and you know what? You're Taurus with an Aries moon, and you really feel the reading for Libra. That's what I always say. If you're here, there's probably listen to all the signs. And I really appreciated, I think it was TS that left a comment, just listen to everything because there might be something in there for you. It feels like I would be happy. You're either having somebody who's draining you and you're the one who's under-resourced and you're just waiting for this one last thing to really be able to be done, or they're making you feel guilty. There's two things you have going here that are stable. You know that your thoughts, your creativity, everything else is another big piece of the pie that will help you out. But there's this giant looming thing. It feels like it's great that I have these three things, but this is the biggest responsibility is what I keep hearing. Libra, I'm going to draw an extra card since you just had an eclipse. In the beginning of eclipse, when the moon, it was just a partial by me. By the way, April 8th, we will have, for anybody living more towards the East Coast, it was kind of the middle of the country where it was a total eclipse. New Mexico, Texas, parts of Central America, South, but in on April 8th, we will have a total solar eclipse. Especially if you live like anywhere from like Florida to PA, in there, which will be really cool. But what I want to talk about with Libra and the eclipse is that when the moon, right, is first occluding that sunlight, that's the part of the eclipse that's manipulation, that is trickery, that is hiding, that is incognito. It is when it moves past its full point or its half point that we start to be in the reveal energy. For me, I put my water out during the reveal, the authenticity, because I have zero judgment on people. There are people who do workings and do intentions and do metaphysical practices with clients where, the others are appropriate. That's not what I personally do. So I put my moon water out. I put my oils out at the halfway point. Because I wanted that new moon energy. I wanted that revelation. I wanted that authenticity. I wanted there not to be a cloak. I want there to be complete transparency. Especially in exchanges. When we talk about Libra, when we talk about 7th house, we're talking about people you're in a committed relationship with. That could be business partner. That could be a committed friendship, even though the 11th house is friends. It's anywhere you could have a friend that you have a business together. It's anywhere where there's the commitment to another person. And usually legal commitment. So like that's where we look at marriage. It's not really where we look at romance. But when we're looking at the 7th house, when we're looking at that Libra balancing, two people trying to balance things. I feel like a truth is going to come out for you, Libras, and 7th house placements. That's just going to help you either release and be like, oh, I should not feel bad. I should not have guilt. I should not worry as much as I'm worrying. I should not let this hold me back. Ask, we have the moon in Scorpio today and Mars in Scorpio today. Ask for all transparency to be given to you. Ask your guides to give you as much transparency, to send you signs, to let information fall on your lap if that's what you need to release. If that's going to feel hurtful, don't ask for that. I want everyone to work safely in their own, constraints and their abilities. For what their trauma is. I don't want anyone triggered. But if you are voraciously after transparency, this is a great time to just ask your guides for it. Say, listen, I'm ready. I want the release. Let it fall in my lap. I do have it marked to have the live chat replay afterwards. I think it just takes a minute because I think YouTube, goes through my video to make sure I'm not saying dangerous, awful things and that there's not a dangerous, awful conversation going on in the comments, which of course there never is on this channel, but due diligence, they check. So it's not immediate, I think. But I do have it checked that way. I can't believe how used to like black coffee with cinnamon I've gotten to. Like if you had told me ever, I used to be the one at the 7-Eleven, sorry, I'm from New York, making coffee and having complete strangers going, do you know how much sugar you just put in that? And I'd be like, isn't there somebody like being awful in the parking lot, you can go yell at instead of me for my sugar. Like, that's how much sugar I used to put, and creamer and flavored creamers, and so awful. It's amazing what you can get used to pretty quickly, actually. It is time to release. It is time to release. And that's such a basic, common, I mean, you know that already. See, that's the thing, is like, you know that already. This one big thing that you're waiting to be resourced, I mean, I feel like there's going to be a truth that is going to come out, and it's just going to make this thing that you're waiting for to either resource them or yourself feel like, oh, okay, no, I didn't have to worry about that. This is happening the whole time behind my back. So I'm good. Truth will set you free, but sometimes it hurts like a son of a bitch. But we want to release you to like your best possible existence. Yeah. It's not a cinnamon stick. It's just ground cinnamon. But when I grind my coffee beans, because I use organic coffee beans, which I get in bulk. It's the only way to buy organic coffee beans. And I grind cloves, cardamom, nutmeg, black peppercorns, cinnamon sticks, and ginger into my ground coffee. So my coffee already kind of has all that fall flavor, but I do that all year round. And then I just put a sprinkle of cinnamon in my coffee because it won't break I'm still doing the 21-hour fasting, and it doesn't break my fast. So Libra, ask for the truth, because this situation is draining you. I mean, you already know that. But what's interesting too is like this person, you know, that's you with a sword through you. This person is living life. They're fully connected and they're manipulating. Look at the energy going to source. This is why I feel like somebody is possibly hiding something from you. And meanwhile, you're still allowing yourself to be in this situation because of that one last resource that you feel like you need. But I feel like it's probably more available to you than you might think, or there's a way to it. And if you ask for that information, you will probably get it this weekend. I have Pluto on my ascendant, so I have been, as Thanos says, cursed with knowledge. When somebody lies, I kind of always find out, and a lot of times it's heartbreaking, but eventually it gives release. And then later on, when I'm looking back, I'm like, whew, I can congratulate myself on my escape, not be sad that I lost something. Hi, Denise. All right, let's move into Scorpio. I'm going to use... Are you feeling irate today, Scorpio, with Mars and the moon in your side? Like, for everybody else, that might feel cranky. For Scorpio, that might be a party. I make homemade chai, and I make chai the way you're supposed to make chai. Like, cut off the strings of the tea bags, slow simmer the tea bags with all the whole spices, and I have I do the lemongrass and the star anise. That's the other thing I put in the coffee, but I put the star anise. And then, you know, you put the cream in and you take it off and then put it in and then take it off. If you know, you know. Chai is arduous to make homemade, but I make a chai concentrate. You really had to come back again? Wonderful. Okay, great. But chai is, it takes time and you cannot walk away from it if you're going to make it properly. But then I make a chai concentrate. And then we make, you know, the famous viral pumpkin cream chai latte with the pumpkin cold foam. We make that here at home all the time. I usually do like a giant mason jar of chai concentrate. It's gone in a week between Emily and I because she doesn't drink coffee, but she'll drink chai, tea. Just has more caffeine. It's way stronger. I can't with him. Juan, I think he needs to get sent to his Uncle Juan's house. Are you done, Nikki? Oh, God. You know, I was going to make zodiac candles, and somebody came along and copyrighted you gotta love the greedy people that are like, I need that all for myself. No one's else is allowed to do that. Because mine would have had sayings on them and they would have been like more to my practice. But now you're not allowed to make. One candle company has come along and trademarked having zodiac signs on candles. And yeah. I hope they trip and I hope they mess up their mascara, and I hope a bird, no, I don't want a bird to poop on them because that's good luck. I hope somebody pisses in their Cheerios. Like, that's so shitty. Yeah, before you make anything, you have to check trademarks, which is, you know, somebody also trademarked Boy Mom. I wasn't going to make any Boy Mom stuff, but I have a channel that I keep up on new trademarks. But yeah. I'm trying to find some way around that with the zodiacs because I wanted to make like a series of like zodiac superpower candles, like what your superpower is for your zodiac. And I literally just found out last night. I was like, motherfucker. Anyway, so Scorpio, first of all, somebody is watching you. And the same person that's watching you, usually these are about self-empowerment. This one, Scorpio, I gotta tell you, this is about other people. Mars and Moon in your sign right now. It could be like a very, very sexy day for you. Although, like, isn't every day a sexy day for Scorpio? But somebody's watching you big time. They are looking for you. They may also... I feel like somebody is trying to get to you thinking you're still the old version of yourself. And you're not. I feel like this person's immature, and the reason they want you, and I say this about Leo and Scorpio all the time. Sometimes people want Leo and Scorpio because they're the get, because they feel like, you know, if they're with Scorpio, and everybody else wants the Leo or the Scorpio, it's a self-esteem boost for them. I'm not gonna lie though, this feels a tiny bit more nefarious. This feels like somebody who wants you just because they don't want anyone else to have you. or somebody wants to make you feel bad about yourself because they just don't want you to feel good about yourself. I don't want you to engage too much. If you have social media, they're watching you on your social media. I really feel like they're going back possibly months or years to like see what you said, or find something that they can say like, oh, I love this show because you posted about that show 2 years ago. So nothing obvious, like nothing in your, this person feels very manipulative, very immature. If you're not a social media person, then this is just somebody who's known you for a while and they don't really know the newer version of you. They are almost trying to manipulate you off of your old wounds that you have healed quite a bit. Here's the great thing. That's not gonna go well for them. I know this is hard advice to hear. Don't engage. Nod, smile, don't engage. Let's just get one. Let's just get one more card for this. I just want to know. Yeah. They're not going to be successful at all. We have Justice in reverse and Six of Wands in reverse. Now, the other thing is that this feels like not a warning, but advice or guidance. And this would be Scorpio or 8th house placements. But I mean, if this is hitting home, just take it. And if you're a Scorpio in the 8th house and it doesn't hit home, then leave it alone. They're not going to be successful. But Scorpio, if you go ham on this person, if you try to, if you go to their level, if they get you mad enough and they press that button on your Wonkavator and they're very manipulative and very immature. And I certainly don't think the Scorpios that are in my community, I don't think you're as good as being a low down, shady monkey with a wig on, in the words of Nene Leakes, as they are. So I don't think you beat them at their own game. Good morning, Yoli. I don't think you beat them at their own game. I don't think that you do at all. Because you're not that, and take that as a compliment, because you're not that shitty. Yeah. I almost feel like this is somebody who feels like they have unfinished business with you, but not in a good way. Like they either want to grab your attention and your affection to assuage their own self-esteem, or this is some kind of weird, messed up, like they want to get you in their good graces so they can sting you like you stung them years ago. I still feel like this is somebody you've known probably for a while, been in their acquaintance, and maybe you guys had more to do with each other years ago, but I don't think that you've been like buddy lately. They're not gonna be successful. They think I just keep feeling like they think they're coming for their justice, and I say this all the time, and I'm happy to say one of the most my favorite astrologers that I respect very much. We were having this discussion in a group setting with Lori Rivers from Woke Astrology, who's fantastic. And I was saying, I feel like people conflate, even astrologically, especially in the cards and in life in general, and when they say it. They conflate justice with karma. Karma is our own deal. Karma is what we will deal with on a personal level, on a deep level, on a soul level. That is karma. Justice is something else. Do some people get away their whole lives and never get justice for the things that they've done wrong? Sure. If they don't get their karma in this lifetime, they'll get it another. And that's kind of none of our business. And I've said it a million times. Well, it's adorable. And I would totally wear a shirt that says, you know, karma's a bitch. Hi, I'm karma. I get it. Watching somebody get theirs when they really deserve it, especially publicly, we're kind of seeing that here and there, right? That feels good because you want to know that there's justice in the world. You want to know that there's some kind of evening out of the wrongs. This person completely conflates what they think is their justice, your karma. And if you're a Scorpio, listen, you're doing your karmic work. You've probably been living in your karmic work your whole life. You don't need anybody to bring you karma. You deal with it. You deal with your own this lifetime karma with last lifetime karma. If you're a Scorpio, you feel like you probably came in that way. What they think that you deserve, they don't deserve. I feel that there is somebody around you that has we all have to work on like attachment, right? But this is somebody who has a really unhealthy victim mode attachment, which is different than normal human experience attachment. They're not going to be successful in trying to get you, but you're also not going to be successful in trying to play their dirty game with them, because you're better than that. Because it's not what you're about. And really, honestly, I'll say this all the time. If somebody was bothering you, if the restraining order wasn't working, and you were not safe, I would give you a recommendation to a baneful practitioner that can help you take care of things that the law won't. And I don't mean gross, I don't mean hurting somebody, but I mean just whatever, right? There are times when you want that for yourself, go, and nothing else is working. Sure. I don't do that. But you're not baneful. What they're willing to do is not something that one of the reasons I don't do baneful practice, or I don't do return to sender when I know somebody's sending me some shady, shitty shit, is because I don't want to engage in a Venus and Serena tennis match, a bad energy back and forth. No, thank you. I have enough on my regular plate. And there are people that do, and they're way better at it than I am. It's not for me. And I don't think that the Scorpios in my community and I for sure, you mess with my kids, it's a fuck around and find out. I put up a post on Instagram yesterday that's like, are you a water sign? Or do you have like a fire moon and like a calmer sun sign? Like, can you relate? Because people are like, you're so nice, I can't ever imagine you losing your temper. Okay, great. Because that button is really hard to find. But if you find it and you press it, that's your, right? And Scorpio for sure has some fuck around and find out energy. But you're not shady and gross. This isn't, all right, let me just say this because Scorpio can take it, and 8th house placements can take it. And if you're in my community, you could probably take it. This is a play stupid games, win stupid prizes game. That's what they're playing. Don't play that game. Don't sign up for that game. Nope. Do not sign up for this is a win, play stupid games, win stupid prizes game. Don't be good at it. It's not something, that's not something we put on our resume personally or professionally. I'm an expert at playing stupid games and winning stupid prizes. This is not, these are not bragging rights. Don't do it, Scorpio. They're not going to win anyway. But what I really want to say to you is, you're not crazy. Like, you're imagining this person's being an awful person. They are. If you think, did they mean that, or was that manipulation? Trust your gut. Okay. Sagittarius. How are you, Sag? Hi, Allison. Aw, Denise, thank you. It was an incredible. We did some insane Reiki. We did astrology. We did cards. We did channeled messages without cards. And we did Reiki all in our hour session yesterday. That was insane. I loved and I always appreciate, you know, you guys are letting me in a space of your vulnerability and of trust, and letting me in the energy of your body, in your healing centers, in like, in your mind, in your mindset, and trusting that I'm going to help you facilitate being more healthy about a situation maybe you can't change, right? Or guiding you correctly. Even something as small as electional astrology, you could be opening your business. That's a big deal. I never, never, never take that for granted. I am humbled and appreciative and grateful every time somebody lets me in that space, because as a very private Cancer, I don't jump in those spaces very easily. I value my privacy, and being vulnerable with somebody is I'm going to be very picky. Aw, thank you, Luna. Sam, you're going to make me cry. You guys are all so nice. Thank you. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to empower. My real job is to get you to the point where you don't need me, right? That should be the goal. Aw, thank you. And if anybody would like to write a review for an appointment they've had in like the last year or so, I've kind of been slacking on posting. I have like 110 5-star reviews, which I'm super proud of. But I've been slacking on asking for reviews in the last year, since I have a different booking system and everything. Okay. I guess for astrology, you always need a good astrologer, right? I go to other people for astrology because, you know, perspective is a little harder when... Okay, Sagittarius. You got very Sagittarius read. Okay, do you see this? So, Knight of Swords. Y'all know, not a big fan of the Knights normally. Just because it's like the kind of energy that makes you think it's a king, but it's more like a page. In my humble opinion. like it's all the gusto and the fire, or it's all the movement, and then it's, you know, in and out. They're not there to stay often. They're always running. Those knights are always running, especially except for the Knight of Pentacles, who's like molasses. Could we just get a knight that like walks at a slow pace? That would be nice. So when we have the Ace of Wands, that is, as Gemma will say, like shwing right through the sacral chakra, right? Wow. That is Kundalini, that is fire, that is my knees are weak, my panties are dropping, and holy cow, and where did this come from? And thank you, universe. It is also inspiration, it's creativity. The thing is that because it's coming with the Knight of Swords, somebody is waking you up. And listen, Lindas. Somebody could come, wake you up, give you a Kundalini awakening, give you the whole shwing. You know, for some people, it takes a gentle breeze to put them in that mood. And for others, like, it's really hard, right, for anyone to, especially the older we get, like, the harder it is to really get under our skin and get in our brains and turn on all those buttons on the Wonkavator, right? So like, you know, great. Like, exactly. Luna, brown chicken, brown cow. Sure. So this is brown chicken, brown cow, but this isn't the Knight of Wands, but he is running in to drop information and then keep running. So like, somebody could come in and wake you up, right? And wake up that part of you that's been dormant, or make you feel like there's a Kundalini, you know, which is, that's a big connection. That's a big thing. We need that. That wakes us up. That helps us walk into a certain kind of personal power. There's glamour magic for a reason. There's sex magic for a reason. There is manifestation through all that for a reason. You know, the womb is sacred. And all of us, genderless, all of us have this sacred part of us, and we have power there, right? But what I don't love is this person seems to be like coming in saying all the same things, and then they're going. It's like the car with the music that goes past your house really fast. It's like you can hear it in the distance. It gets really loud, and then it goes away. Sag. Now, if this person comes in and they're not here for a long time, they're here for a good time. Sometimes that person just is on schedule to wake us up, and it's not our person. Could this be somebody who comes back in and turns into our person? I don't even know that they mean to do what they do. I think for you, it's deep. For them, it's not that deep, babe. Yeah. I'm gonna take my shoes off. Oi. I want to pull another card on this too. This is such a beautiful kind of sacred card, right? It is awakening in so many ways. And this, like, you know, he's running just to hop on his motorcycle to keep going. Everything is in a forward motion. Well, this is a very still, like, this is happening. Let's just get a Rider-Waite. Interesting. Page of Swords in reverse. Yeah. So someone might be coming in, Sag and 9th house placement. Somebody might be coming in and they're coming in to wake you up. When you go to look for them later, what did I say? The reason I personally, as a reader, as a metaphysical practitioner, don't always love the Knights is because the Knight is somebody who can feel like a king energy, but is really closer to a page energy. And then here comes the Page of Swords in reverse. This is why we trust our gut. Sometimes the Page of Swords is a messenger that you need to drop info, right? But this, I didn't love him. So he's going to run in. He or she, doesn't matter. Somebody's going to drop a bomb and keep running. It's going to wake something up in you. Just concentrate on that. This was woken up. When you go to interact with this person to get more of that from them, they might go complete radio silence in a very immature way. I have a video pinned to my TikTok talking about, like, if somebody ghosts you, that is just not a healthy response instead of having a conversation about something. So first of all, we're dealing with somebody who's not responding healthy to something. And second of all, like, don't sit in that. Don't be the victim of their ghosting. Don't take it personal, because it's hard to make growth out of victim mode. Did they do a shitty thing? Yeah. But that's not because you're worth shitty things. That's just because that's where they're at. They're unhealthy. It's not healthy to not have a conversation. Have there been people that I've cut off? Sure. But guess what? I was like, hey, listen, this exchange is becoming toxic and I'm going to block you. I personally have never not given somebody a heads up. Yeah, you keep going this way, buddy, and you're everything is going to get blocked. I give people warnings. That's me, which a lot of people find harsh, but you know, probably if you're making somebody feel like that, they're either going to give you a warning and then you can call them an asshole, and I'm good with that. Because that's me. I'm the problem. It's me. Or they're going to ghost you, right? This feels like ghosting, and this feels like they will block you from their social media, everything. Now, don't let that fire go out. Don't let that get taken away, Sagittarius. Don't let that bum you out. Because this was their character. This is the gift. Is their character reliable? Or are they the most healthy person right now at this time in their journey? No. But this still happened. This is the gift. Okay. This is just coming to me now. I'm giving this to all of my community. Somebody send me an email to remind me to make a video about this later. When somebody comes into our lives and they bring us something amazing, we feel incredible about ourselves. We tap into a part of us that's been dormant or that no one else has ever let us feel comfortable to express. They bring along an awakening of any kind. I don't care if you have a mole and cellulite on your ass, and that guy was like, you have the best ass. Or that chick was like, you know that mole? It's so sexy. That scar, so sexy. I don't care. Genderless, again. They leave you with that gift of not having, right? Waking up some part of you, letting some part of you die where you were being really critical about something. I want you to think about that person. If somebody drops flowers or one of those edible arrangements, or the UPS guy brings you a gift from Amazon on your front door and then leaves, right? We're never mad at them. This person is not a person to stay in the rest of your life. They're just a delivery person. That's what they're bringing you. You don't scream at the UPS guy that he's not staying for dinner. And only on a rare occasion would we ask the pizza guy to go to a wedding with us, or expect him to. Sometimes people are just a delivery person. This is where expectations on other people's behavior kind of gets us, can make us go to a place where we feel badly about ourselves. But they're just a delivery guy. They're just delivering things. This is what they delivered you. Sagittarius, don't let this unhealthy, Juan, you're cracking me up. This unhealthy, less mature energy take away or diminish or put out this fire, this gift that universe was giving you. Sometimes you might talk to somebody who's like, oh yeah, this one came down and talked to me. I have friends that are hella psychic, that they're like, this one came down and told me this, and then it happened. You know, great, good for you. But for the majority of us, universe doesn't appear in a cloud of smoke to give us something. They send a human in a meat suit to deliver you what you need. That's all this is. I actually want you, if you're watching this, to go back through your life. Anyone that you thought, what was it about me that didn't make them stay? I want you to now imagine them they could have a Domino's uniform, they could have a UPS, whatever makes you happy. I want you to imagine that person in a delivery uniform. And I want you to do that for like 2 weeks. Every time you picture that person, I want you to imagine them in a delivery uniform, so that you can let go of any little part of you in your subconscious, in your words to yourself, that has you stuck on the idea that there was something about you that wasn't worth staying for. The UPS guy doesn't stay for coffee. The edible arrangements guy doesn't stay for dinner. And you don't take the Domino's pizza guy to the wedding with you, or be mad because he doesn't go. I want you to go back in your history, and any single person that you thought, like, I was good, I gave them what they wanted in the relationship, I gave them what they wanted behind closed doors, I did everything, I dressed nice. I do not want you to sit and think about what you weren't enough of. I want you to understand that that was just universe sending a delivery person for a lesson, for a comeuppance, for an upgrade. Maricela, you crack me up. By the way, there's a community 10 code if anybody else is interested, Maricela was saying that she was wearing her Black Lilith is my bestie plan accordingly sweatshirt. But there's anything on that page. I have a goal to get the tarot cards and the oracle cards up by Black Friday. We'll see. But that's not a timed thing. The Community 10, you can use it anytime. That is for all of you in the Etsy store for anything, whether it's a planner or anything else. And like I always say, if there's anything, like if there's a special saying or like something you've always wanted on a shirt, email me. If you're in my community, email me, and I can probably get it designed, and then we can just order one for you. It doesn't have to be like in the store. I make decaf chai for at night, because sometimes at night when it's chilly out, just those like flavors in chai. Plus, I have a soft serve machine, so sometimes you want ice cream and you don't want it to have caffeine in it. I wish I could have you all over. The delivery guy just hit home so hard. Yeah. Good, good, good. You just had that happen in a couple of weeks, in the last couple of weeks. Listen, and I really do. I want you to go back and think of anyone that you think didn't stay because you were less than, and realize it has nothing to do with that. You're fucking amazing. And that was just universe sending a delivery guy. Yeah. All right. I love how you all love each other. We are on Capricorn. I'm using my Stranger Things. Oh, the messages are deep today. I kind of like this, doing 6 signs and getting in, and then doing another 6 signs, doing the full reads during the week. I feel like that's enough. And then I think possibly tomorrow we'll start doing the card a day. A uniform and a whip, that's Indiana Jones, I'm pretty sure. Halloween's around the corner, so if anybody's looking for like a man with a whip, there'll be somebody dressed as Indiana Jones at a Halloween party. Aw, thank you, TS. Yeah, I wish my dark circles would go away, as very clearly they are there. But I have to say, like, it's... I will say I see a difference. I just wish I wouldn't lose it from my face first. This particular camera adds weight, and then when I go into sessions, people are like, you look gone. I lost a lot from my face. You can kind of see it on TikTok because it's a different camera. Hey, Gibson. I love that you changed your handle to Gibson. That makes me happy. But I gotta tell you, I didn't do it for 2 days, and then you cannot see those. That's because you love me, Sam. That's because you love me. I'm a quarter Swedish, and every single picture of like all my aunts. My mom didn't have it as much, but my grandmother, my aunts, and then my great grandmother, the whole thing, everybody looked like they got socked in the eye. In every single formal picture, everyone looks like they have black eyes. The dark circles are real. Aw, we missed you too. All right, Capricorn. Perfect timing, Gibbs. Okay. Very interesting. Okay, so we have, again, 4 Pentacles. Right? Is it the 4? No, this is the 6 of Pentacles in reverse. So, and there is a Queen of Wands. This is very, very interesting. Ooh. Now, in this deck, the Queen of Wands is Nancy, so that kind of makes me feel like she's not shady. Queen of Wands is such a mixed bag. It depends. Like if you're doing a love reading and 2 queens come up and one of them is Queen of Wands, the Queen of Wands for me is kind of like the interloper there, or like the other person. But you know, the thing about Nancy too is just like she can't help it. People fall in love with her. This Queen of Wands, you may have some electric, magnetic energy that people just gravitate towards. When we have the 6 of Pentacles in reverse with the Queen of Wands, Capricorn, there's like 3 readings here. One is that somebody sees that you are the Queen of Wands and doesn't want you to see that you're the Queen of Wands. And so they're going out of their way to not make you feel like an equal. They're going out of their way not to make it feel like reciprocity. They could even be holding back from giving you something you deserve or that you've earned. Could be monetary. It's like making sure you're underfunded so that you cannot be in your full power, Capricorns. Let me know if this is, I feel like this is so specific. It's funny because I know that I'm doing readings for the collective, and I guess you want something to be so specific. I guess like that's great if people feel like, oh my God, this is my story. How is she doing that? That's great. But I always feel bad. Like, am I only reading for 2 people? And I have more than that watching. You don't have to do a lot to like be on fire, to be creative, to be like vivacious. There's something, I feel like this goes along. Please forgive me. I feel like when you were younger, a kid, junior high, high school, even into your 20s, possibly into your 30s. And this is for 10th house placements, by the way. People may have told you, hey, Lil John, that you were a lot, or made you feel like you were a lot. Like, you may have been a ball of energy and like loved everyone, or been like funny. I am seeing someone's face in my life, which makes me know that universe is trying to show me this is the personality type. You may not have fit in, right? You may have been funny. You may have been like useful to some groups at sometimes, but not always like the first one to get invited. You might have found out things like afterwards. And you are funny and personable, and kind of nothing wrong with you. And you were never like went out of your way to like hurt somebody or be an asshole. But still, there was just like a lack of fitting in to some degree. People going out of their way to make you feel smaller may be a theme in your life. Third wheel in the group, fifth wheel, that kind of thing. You may have been the kind of kid that adults loved, and adults would say like, don't worry, when you get older, all the adults will love you. You might have been the kid that didn't feel right with other kids, but adults would call you like a mini adult, or they would think you're so funny or go out of their way to tell you how smart or wise you were for your age. But your peers wanted to make you feel smaller. I feel like part of that was because your absolute lack of need for conformity was something that they felt a little envious of. While everyone else is just trying to get down the hallways at school or wherever, or in your first job or at college, you were just always you. And sometimes that breeds resentment in people who are going to do whatever they need to do to be part of the group. Because let's face it, when we're younger, there's safety. There's safety in being popular. There's safety in being belonging to a group. But to kind of walk on your own, to walk to your own drummer, and to not need the conformity. You just, like, your soul didn't need it. You didn't, your ego, you didn't need it. So, but there can be a resentment because other people are like hyperventilating whether their outfit's right or whether they're in with the same group, and they may even be like an outlier on the popular group, but they're sometimes the ones who feel the most like skittish about belonging, and they're sometimes extra mean. There's the theme here for you of people wanting you to be smaller than you are and not wanting you to understand that, like, this charisma, this power that you've always had, this like lack of need for conformity. Wow. As you got older, you may have gotten into a group that either money was a thing, status was a thing, manners were a thing. This just feels so specific. I almost feel like I don't need cards. Once again, you might have broke free from another group, but now as you're older, you're doing it with purpose. This is hurting me. I don't want to be here. I feel like whether you're in a divorce situation and somebody is trying to hold back your money or bleed you of your money, depending on which side of this you're on. In other words, like, you could have money and they could try to be making you feel like you can't go do it on your own, or they're going to take your stability away so that you can't. Somebody is trying to make you feel small. The thing is that you are the Queen of Wands. The creativity, the power. People probably either have people who don't know who they are probably have an adverse reaction to you maybe at first, or think that you're a lot, but that's because they don't know who they are. And other people meet you and be like, I fucking love you. You feel like a very polarizing person, and there's not a lot of in between. Capricorn, 10th house placements, and whoever is listening to this and this feels like you, because I've been very specific. Hi, Tisa. If you know this card in general, here it is. We have somebody trying to make sure that they feel fancy while you feel like you are beholden to them. Sometimes this card can be seen as help, but for me, that card is also like help with a string attached. Capricorn, Pluto just went direct. That eclipse squared your placements, Capricorn. And if that didn't, the full moon in Aries did. On the 29th, 28th. And the full moon in Taurus, the moon in Taurus also will be trining your placements, Capricorn. Let me tell you something. This attempt to hold you back, it breaks now. This attempt to make you feel less than, it breaks now. This attempt to make you feel I just had it. Tell me I put it all the way back in the deck like an idiot. This attempt to make you feel like you need their crumbs, that all breaks now. That Six of Pentacles, it's in reverse now. If you don't watch Stranger Things, I apologize, but this Queen of Wands specifically, this Nancy Wheeler, right? She doesn't have to, she's smart and she's brave. And she's unsuspecting. She's leaves her popularity. She leaves her comfort zone, right? She leaves dating the most popular boy in school. She leaves the safety of the status to go pursue what feels right to her and to authentically step into herself. That's such Queen of Wands energy. She doesn't have to do much. She doesn't have to wear much makeup. Her hair doesn't have to be on point. She is magnetic. Capricorns, I know sometimes that Capricorns would be like, oh, how do Capricorns apologize? They don't, because they're never wrong. Like, we make jokes, but every single person can deal with, every sign, every placement, and every human can deal with insecurities at some point. This is, first of all, let your fucking freak flag fly high. And also that you could be standing still doing nothing and you're still the Queen of Wands. You have to step into that. Like, once you fully step into that and don't tie it to what, please know that your lack of need for conformity, the things that you stepped away from, the people that want to make you dependent on them or make you feel small, that's all out of resentment and jealousy. How dare you be unabashedly you? How fucking dare you? Can't help it. You're the Queen of Wands. And that's a genderless energy. You know, I just did a reading for somebody, and there's somebody at work being a jackhole to them. And the first thing I got when I pulled up for this other person's character is that they didn't have an original thought of their own. They can't get anywhere in life because they're so busy trying to like see what somebody wants from them, or see that they don't lean into themselves. So they never have an original thought of themselves. They brag about things they don't have, or that they think make them more important or better. When you have Queen of Wands energy and you are so creative and you come up with the ideas and you come up with the solutions and you go execute them, you don't talk about it, you be about it. That's hard for people who feel like it's a lifeline, that they cannot breathe unless they hold that status. They don't have your creativity. They don't have your ability to problem solve. They don't have your follow through. This is it. This is the breakthrough. You got a full moon that's squared. You had an eclipse that's squared. Now you're going to have another eclipse and full moon that is going to trine your placements, Capricorn. So you may only have that one thing. You may only have Pluto just about leaving. It's going to dip back in September. It's not going to completely leave until November 8th of 2024. But you may think, well, I only really have that thing going on right now. Don't forget that anything in Cardinal, unless it's Cancer, anything happening in Libra and Aries, which that's where the nodal axis is. That is squaring. Squaring creates challenge to beget change. And that full moon in Taurus is saying, I love you more to your placements. That's around 5 degrees. So if you have anything around 5 degrees on the, around the 28th in Capricorn, that is going to trine. If you have anything in 5 degrees in Virgo, that's going to trine. And if you have anything in Leo or Aquarius around 5 degrees, that's going to square. Obviously, you're involved if it's Scorpio. But there's a lot happening. If you didn't get hit with the full moon in Aries squaring Capricorn, and you didn't get hit, then you're going to get hit with this. That's a big one. Your whole life, I feel like your whole life, people just would not let you in. And now it's time to shine anyway, but also their power is going to break. Something is going to break. Because you may be Capricorn, but it's a very like, you're going to be empowered while somebody who is trying to overpower you loses that power over you. You are going to be empowered as somebody who's tried to overpower you loses that power over you. That's what's happening for Capricorn in 10th house placements. Or if that very specific channeled message came in and you felt like I was talking about you. Woo! Okay. Aquarius. Aquarius. Let's get a new deck of cards. Let's do these guys. The Muse Tarot. Hi, Jazzy D. Thanks for saying that. I just put my hair in a ponytail and put on moisturizer today. Especially I keep feeling like if you were the kind of kid that adults just couldn't get enough of you, but the other kids like didn't get you, or you just felt like an outlier. Also, right now, working on the tarot class. And I had a really fun, interesting phone call with Lana. And I can't say much more about that, but in the spring, there will probably be more offerings for classes. Okay. Aquarius, what's going on for Aquarius right now? What do they need to hear? What do they need to know for their empowerment, about the energies around them? We have communication coming in. I'm coming in fast. A lot of words. Wow. Okay. Didn't I just do Aquarius? The Aquarius reading last Wednesday was nutso. We have an 8 of Swords and a 3 of Swords. 3 of Swords, of course, usually being depicted by the heart with the swords through it. We have eyes crying in the background, and we have somebody kind of hiding. Oh, the 8 of... This Muse deck always throws me for a loop. It's the 8 of Voices. This is the 8 of Swords. So this is anxiety and heartbreak. For some of you, Aquarius, I feel like the anxiety and worry, because this feels like the avoidance. This feels like sitting in an old energy and trying to avoid something happening that brings you back, that brings you into a trigger. Aquarius. This is just, that's anxiety. That's feeling trapped in your thoughts. For some of you, there's like an avoidance. Aquarius is the humanitarian. I know that we hear that they'll ghost you really quick and, you know, they don't care. It is what it is. They do things without they do things without unhealthy attachment. That's for sure. And that's kind of goals, right? Unhealthy attachment is not anything that ever served anyone well. Unhealthy attachment, right? However, there's still, they really don't want to hurt somebody. If they ghost you, it's because they really don't want to say the thing. They don't want to hurt you. They don't want to witness your hurt. They don't want a front row seat to hurting somebody. This feels like you're sharing. This feels like you're avoiding, like you have to have a conversation with somebody, Aquarius. That's what I keep feeling and getting around this. That you're avoiding having a conversation with somebody. This kind of, it feels a little bit like beating a baby seal over their head. this may not be this may be somebody that's like soft and fuzzy and everybody thinks they're like the nicest person, but they feel a bit of a burden to you. Not in a way of like, you feel like you have to over explain things a lot. And you feel like you have to carry your emotions and their emotions for them. This just feels like the way she's trying to like miss me with that. She's hiding. And she's hiding from this crying energy. And that's anxiety. It just feels hard. It feels like there's nothing wrong with this person, but they drain you somehow. And you feel like you've explained it 100 times and they don't get it because they're at where they're at. And the thing is, as an Aquarius, you understand that. You understand that they're at where they're at. I'm not asking them to be any different. I'm not asking them to be in a different place of their journey than they're not. Because you get it. Because you're Aquarius. You know, you're not... you're not asking the rabbit to be a snake or anything. You're not, you don't expect anything. It is what it is, right? And like you're not expecting that of this person. But they want you to understand that they need certain things from you. And the thing is that it feels exhaustive. It feels exhausting. It feels like they're saying, and they have said, okay, I just need this from you, right? And then I can be calm and I can feel more reassured and I can feel confident in this whole situation and I'll be okay and I won't be up your butt all the time about this one thing. And you give it to them thinking like, okay, that's good. I can meet you in the middle. Happy to accommodate. And then it's not enough. I have said this a million times. If an Aquarius tells you they love you, they love you. They might not tell you 1,000 times a day. Because they're like, well, yeah, I said that. I wouldn't have said it if I didn't mean it. Because they don't have unhealthy attachments. They're not going to say I love you to somebody that they don't love. Because it's polite in the moment or anything. They're just not going to do that. This feels like somebody's so nice. And again, almost feeling like beating a baby seal over the head with a bat. Like, don't want to. The other thing I keep feeling is that this conversation has ties to other people or other situations in your life that you don't want to deal with. For one of two of you, this is your child's partner. And the child's partner wants you to love the shit out of them. Wants it to be like a movie. And you're like, I can deal with this. I don't hate this for my child. You're not my cup of tea. I wouldn't be friends with you outside of this. So like, there's something that's happening that's like unhealthy. And this person just is almost obsessive over something. And you want to just be like, look, I cannot spend every weekend with you. Look, I cannot. But there is some kind of tie. That's only for one or two people where it's the child's partner. This person, you're going to have to like put down a boundary. But when you do, this is connected to something else. Good morning. Yeah, I hope it does sell. Lean into it. Lean into it, James. Don't you have some Scorpio? Scorpios are fucking tired. I don't blame you. You get a break after the 28th. And then after your Scorpio season is over, you only have Venus to deal with. That's not so bad. I'm going to take a third card for this one too, but I want to take it from a different deck. I feel like I want an advice card for you. I feel like if this person, the kind of like unhealthier attachment, slightly needy person, like they might be okay with like a Pisces or like somebody who's like, oh my God, I totally get it. And it's not that Aquarius doesn't get it. 11th house placements don't. They get it, but they're just like, this isn't going to work long term. And for me to pretend that it would be wrong, because they're not about doing things in the moment that are wrong for some kind of unhealthy construct or attachment. Again, to me, this is goals. This doesn't make Aquarius cold. When I talked about Libra last Wednesday in the big reading about putting icing on the cake instead of letting the cake just be a cake, sometimes can lead into like misunderstandings or people thinking that like you're more into something than you are because of all, you know, and that comes from wanting things to be. I have a friend who's a Libra and everything is like once in a blue moon, not often because he's awesome, but once in a blue moon, he'll say something and I'll be like, you did not just say that to me. Like, do you know who you're talking to? And the immediate reaction is smile. And I'm like, don't tell me to smile or you just got me mad. Like, but that is the Libra thing. And Libras often grow up in contentious relationships, right? So like this person may be a Libra, but the Aquarius just is like, I am not going to lead you on and pretend the thing. I'm not going to put 6 inches of, who likes cake with 6 inches of icing? I don't, I take the icing off. So like, you're either a person who like likes the 6 inches of icing or you take the icing off. And Aquarius takes the icing off. And this person wants the 6 inches of icing. I hope that explains it. Like, that was such a dumb, weird way to explain it, but that seems like the most simple analogy. The thing is that if it was just that you were to deal with this person, you would just deal with them. It would be done already. And if they didn't take no for it, then they're going to get ghosted. Sometimes too, when people are getting ghosted, they're really not getting ghosted. Somebody said something like a million times and whoosh, and now you're being ghosted. Once in a blue moon. Not always. Sometimes people just ghost you and it's not right and it's not okay. And it just is what it is, right? Because they're the delivery person. Go watch Capricorn's reading. But, well, that was Sagittarius reading. But, it's sometimes once in a blue moon, you're not really ghosting somebody. You kind of give them a heads up a million times and zhoo. I like a little icing. I like 6 inches of icing on my... Okay. Okay, so the 9 of Swords, the Up All Night card came out, and the 7 of Pentacles waiting. It feels like this is like, listen, I did all the things, I said all the things. I try to put out like the honest truth. I feel like I was clear. There's no prize for all of that because this person's just not hearing me. This person is probably somebody who maybe like is a little traumatic. I know the type. You say one thing to them and it's like, oh my God, that's the most awful thing anyone's ever said to me. And you didn't even say something unkind. You just reiterated a fact that they find offensive, right? So like there is a little bit of a dramatic person here. They're just not going to hear you. The thing is I do feel this is connected to another situation, which is why it's giving you the anxiety, why it's giving you the up all night. Aquarius, I feel like you, if this 11th house placements, Aquarius, if this resonates for you, you may feel like this rock a hard place me. This is not great situation to be in. Especially if you're the one or two people where I feel like I'm reading this about like a child's partner. Like you would love to be in love with your child's partner. You don't know if you see maybe, and I don't think you dislike them. I think maybe you're just not 100% sure that this is the right pair. And so you're just holding back. And also there's just not, this is not somebody that you would be all rah-rah about if they weren't connected to somebody that you love very much. You don't want to hurt. You don't want to create space. It feels like there's a space that would be created between you and somebody you don't want space with to be able to have. And so that is what's giving you the anxiety. I know it sucks to say like, just sit on it, just wait. I feel like the holidays are coming up. There's going to be a lot of other distraction. I also feel like this person is going to get into a fight with somebody else in their life that's going to have nothing to do with you, but it's going to let you off the hook, Aquarius. Like this person is going to bump up against somebody else that's not going to be as, I don't want to say diplomatic, but like you really don't want to hurt them. You don't. And so somebody else is going to be like, I don't give a shit. You got on my nerves the last time. And they are going to let that person have it. Like big time. I feel like if you wait, this will be out of your hands to some degree. Because this person's going to have another person to deal with. It's going to be a bigger fish to fry. If this is somebody connected to your child, it's even more important to just sit back and let that unfold. If it's connected to like your best friend, or if it's connected to somebody you don't want space from, this person will eventually dig their own grave, show their ass. Just wait for it. But don't take on the anxiety. Don't take on the anxiety of their over dramatic. And trust me, they're going to get in hot water of their own, which is going to take a lot of pressure off of you, Aquarius. And this could be at work too. This could be somebody that you work with. It could be somebody you're supposed to be mentoring, and it's just, I did not just say that. Wow. I don't know what I just said. When I'm talking here, it's like all coming through, if you can't tell with the squinting and the... Sorry, I have memory in RX. Progress, directs. Some of the planets in retrograde in the natal chart can be more prone to having access to your gifts. It depends on what planet the retrograde is in, and it depends on the aspects, the conversations that the planets have with each other. That's the real juice. Okay. So, yeah. It's going to play out on its own, and that person who has unhealthy attachment and drama, and oh my God, that's the worst thing anyone's ever said to me. They're just very, like, they're also like, oh my God, I love you so much. But then they're like, oh my God, that's the worst thing you ever said with me. We all know somebody like that, but like that kind of type, they're going to get, trust me. Somebody who's completely not diplomatic will eventually be like, yeah, you're nutso, and I don't want to deal with you. And nutso is not a nice thing to say to anybody, but you know what I mean. All right, Pisces. And then we'll give away a reading. Every time, really? Hold on. Oh my goodness. Okay. I don't know if that... I don't know how that fell though. Oh, hold on. I'm like, you can see my ceiling. I'm like in my pajama pants, so. Okay. Wow, Yoli. Okay. Is that Hierophant supposed to be in reverse? Thank you. Yes. Okay. So first card out is the Hierophant. This is such a beautiful card. These cards are just beautiful. The Hierophant in reverse. There is rebellion against structure, belief systems, the way you were doing something, the way you were taught to do something, the way you might have been indoctrinated to do something no longer serves you, Pisces. Nikki, are you being so cute? Nikki. Nikki. He's like right there. You guys can't see him, but he's right there. He's hanging out with everyone. Nikki. Interestingly enough, there's 3 cards came out, Pisces, which we've been pulling a 3rd card anyway. So we have the Hierophant upside down. There's some kind of rebellion. There's some kind of rebellion to belief systems that you were either taught to, this is the only right way, a little bit of indoctrination maybe, or you're just breaking free from some kind of dogma, some kind of structure that just no longer serves you, belief systems that no longer serve you, especially something that you felt like support and you came to the epiphany that it's actually control and that no longer serves you. We have the King of Swords here, and this is the female. This deck has kings in each male and female presenting cards. This is the King of Swords here. Very truthful, very honest. Doesn't say a lot because they're not going to say anything they don't need to. They're not going to wax poetic about anything. They're probably going to give it to you straight. But they're going to have a lot of integrity. The other thing we have here is the King of Wands. This King of Wands I've talked about before to this community. He beat his drum so hard talking about himself with ego that it's on fire. So we have an ego death here too. Now, whether this person is actually going through an ego death or you just were like, oh, they're not that great. All this control I've been giving into, right? And living my life in this, like, they're not that great. Something else has come, Pisces. This feels big. And don't forget that Pisces, with anything around 5 degrees, that this full moon on the 28th, this eclipse, that's going to affect you. That's trining that the sun in that is going to be trining your placements that are around 5 degrees. Uh, Pisces, for a lot of you, it feels like you're breaking free from the control that was tried to have over you. You're leaving a thought system that no longer serves you, and that is wonderful. There is somebody with far more integrity and honesty, truthfulness. They may, Pisces knows how to turn a sentence into a poem. Pisces knows how to turn a simple food into just something so beautiful and poetic, and they are fantastic lyricists, and they just know how to like get the beauty out of things, right? We know Venus is or I'm trying to remember. Venus is exalted in peanuts. Venus is exalted in Pisces. Thank you, Susie. A King of Swords that isn't going to say anything and isn't going to embellish a whole lot. They're just going to say that when they drop truths, they drop truths. Now, this King of Swords, I know they're doing it in a kind way. They're there for, she almost looks like Glinda, right? They're doing it in your highest good, this King of Swords. But the people and the thing that you're breaking away from is going to try to be undermining. It's almost reminding me of, I've been saying for months, maybe over a year, that as Capricorn is losing Pluto out of its sign, and while Pluto isn't, Pluto is Scorpio's thing. While Pluto's like, okay, great, I'm in Capricorn, whatever. Capricorn really likes having the power of Pluto, that the capitalism, the 1%, the tax cuts for the rich, the capitalism isn't something we need. Commerce and capitalism are two different things. Commerce is good for everyone. Capitalism is capitalizing off of workers that aren't paid what they should be. And with inflation and everything, it feels exacerbated, right? And I keep saying the power, the control, everything that you see, the crazy laws, the dialing backwards for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, trying to get laws reinstated that we got rid of 50 years ago. Is it West Virginia that's trying to outlaw interracial marriage, for fuck's sake? I have been saying for the longest time, you will see that Capricornian, Pluto and Capricorn energy gasping for air. There's a change coming. We're going to move into the we, not me. We are. It's going to take a long time and it's going to be bumpy, but we will. And at the end of 20 years, that's going to be the norm. Thank God. No one's saying commerce isn't a wonderful thing. Commerce is a great fucking thing. Capitalism and commerce are not the same thing, in case anyone had those conflated. Whoever this is that is gasping for air, they might do some funky ass stuff to try to convince you that this is the way and this is the way, right? Like they want you to be like this instead of like that. This person's going to stay steady in their own truth. Pisces, I might prepare for shenanigans, especially around the 28th. The way that We're seeing the powers that be, the old powers, just making a mess of things, gasping for air. They feel like they're drowning, right? In this new way we're moving into, which is better for all people. We're seeing terrible things. We're seeing power moves that are disgusting. I'm getting that same vibe, Pisces. Keep your eye on this person that's just standing in truth. Now, I know that they're like kind of maybe blunt, and I still feel like instead of feeling like they are unkind and blunt, they might feel refreshing to you. This person's going to try to convince you that this person is the snake. Just be aware. Because this person is in so much ego, they have put themselves out. And you're going to see that. We're seeing that in the collective all over. Part of that is the Neptune in Pisces in retrograde. Part of that is Saturn in Pisces. So if you have Pisces placements between like 8 and 0 degrees, this full moon is really going to, because it's going to trine, the sun will be trining Saturn. I know the full moon is in Taurus, but the sun will be in Scorpio, and the sun will be trining Saturn, which is activated by this full moon. Full moon brings truths, and desperate people do desperate things when they feel like their truth is they can't hide behind the lies anymore. Does that make sense? Pisces, I feel like gossip is going to come your way. I feel like disparaging character references are going to be thrown at you for this new alliance, which actually I feel like is in your highest good. Don't give in. Let people show you who they are. In the great words of Maya Angelou, believe people the first time they show you who they are. But let people show you who they are. They're going to lie on this person. They're going to, even if it hurts you a little, you got to understand, somebody that works out of ego thinks they know what's better for you better than you do. Hi, Karen. I hope it's negative, Adva. People working out of ego, they already think they know better for you than you do. They think they're smarter than you. They think that you don't know. You can't possibly really understand. So if they do something that they feel might hurt you a little bit, like in the end, it's in your best interest. Like they will hurt your feelings to get you to believe something. They might tell you that this person said something that they didn't, that you would be devastated to think that but that was my friend. I can't believe they said that. This person who is starting to lose their power is pulling out all the stops because you don't believe in that anymore. Like your belief systems are changing. You're moving out of things that no longer serve you. You're not interested in somebody having a ton of control over you, disguised as support. was never real support. It was just like, if you're a good girl, if you're a good boy, and you follow all these rules, I will be here for you. But if any of that doesn't align with you and you feel the need to examine other things, you're very, very bad now. It's that kind of, you're not doing that anymore. And this person is kind of losing their shit. And this newer alliance or newer influence or newer mentor, newer person in your life that's just truth bomb, tell it like it is, not in an unkind way, but with integrity. Like, I see this person as having more integrity than that person, to the point where I think that person will lie on this other person or lie on you or try to arrange something to happen to make you feel like this other person doesn't have your... They can't stand in their own truth, so they're going to try to mar the situation. They can't stand in their own truth. So they're going to try to lie on this other person or arrange something, even if it hurts your feelings. Even if it takes the wind out of your sails. Almost especially if it takes the wind out of your sails, because then you'll feel more dependent on them and going back to that, like, look, if you live in my little structure, everything's going to be fine. There's gaslighting involved here, for sure. But there's been gaslighting, Pisces. There has been gaslighting. There's been passive-aggressive, like, threats. Like, again, this is somebody who would say, like, oh, lucky I love you because you're such a mess kind of thing. And you're just no longer doing that. And they are somebody that just is what they is. They are what they are. You don't have to, like, fight for their approval. But they're also not, like, making you feel like your relationship is dependent on it. Yeah. They're going to just be on lookout for the fuckery and don't believe everything. Take everything with a grain of salt. Especially because Neptune's going to go back into direct where there's a little bit more fog again. Don't fall for it. I'm trying to think, because I have all my crystals in another room because I charged them in the revealing part of the eclipse, in the truthful, haha, the cloak is off kind of. All right, we're gonna do something really simple. I'm gonna give away a reading. I'm either gonna do only major arcana or I'm only gonna do court cards, and I will pull a card and you all have to guess, but it looks like the major arcana might get done first. Okay. I didn't do anything yet. We're gonna let fate decide. Okay, hold on. I feel like I'm playing like cards. I feel like I'm playing spit. If you know, you know. Who's old and used to play spit besides me? Anybody else? Okay. Okay. All right, let's give away a reading. I only have the major arcana. Let's see what comes out. Okay, everybody, like, close your eyes and try to link in. Imagine that light that you already hold within your body out of the crown of your head, hitting the ceiling. Being stingy with the jumper. And connect in. I didn't get one yet. Up. I didn't. Oh, you're all guessing before it comes out. Okay. I get it. I get it. Okay. I'm double checking. I don't see that anyone said it. It's not the Fool or the Magician or the World. It's not the Chariot or the High Priestess or the Lovers. It's not the Star. It's probably my favorite card in the deck, but it's not. It's the Hangman. It's the Hangman. Luna. We did Major Arcana, Gibson. I'm sorry. It's the Hangman. All right, Luna, you know the Addy, so message me. Of course, I picked the Centennial deck, which has the 4. If you guys don't have this deck, it's the 100th anniversary of Pamela Coleman and the Rider-Waite deck. And so Pamela Coleman had 4 other illustrations that didn't make it into the original deck, but they are in the 100th anniversary one. All right, well, hit me up in the email. We'll get you scheduled, or you can just go on to SuzzyEvolutionary.com and find the community spaces and book right there in the community Evolutionary Friends booking system. It will not charge you. And I hope you all have a good rest of your weekend. I will see you Wednesday for Earth Signs. Hopefully starting the card a day tomorrow. We'll see how the vet goes with Miss Sadie. I love you. Now you love you. And I'll see you all soon. And Community 10, if you want to grab anything from the Etsy shop at all times, all capitals, is always good for all of you. All right, bye.